Welcome to the Spiral Up podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Lachelle Weemy, a peak performance coach and business strategist dedicated to helping you see what's possible within you, the blind spots that are holding you back, and the solutions to ensure success and fulfillment without the hustle. I use my secret sauce of metaphysics, brain science, and scripture to work with God to manifest your ideal life and business. If you're ready to create massive forward momentum in your business and bust through the blocks that drag you down, join me on the Spiral Up journey and create the clarity, confidence, and consistency to become the CEO that lives your life by design. It's time to create the sustainable impact, income, and time freedom you desire faster. Now is the time to spiral up. Hey, friend. Welcome back to the Spiral Up podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Lachelle Weemy. It is so fun to be here. And just a few short days ago, it was Valentine's Day. And I don't know if you love the holiday or loathe the holiday. It doesn't matter, because today what I want to do is be inspired by just the concept of love. And I want to specifically talk about self-love and how having a lack of self-love can actually sabotage your manifestation of a better business, a better life, right? So I can't wait to get started. Now, the thing that I want to just point out real quickly is that many of you guys have been chatting with me in DMs, or you'll leave comments, within my Instagram, and you'll tell me how you've been doing all the dang things, right? You have been doing all of the affirmations. You've been doing the strategies, you've been working harder, but things are not working, that you're continuing to hit this plateau and you're not getting as far as you want. And you're ready to manifest more 5-figure months with ease and flow and fun again. And I got to just tell you that it is not, friend, what you do. It is who you are while you're doing it. And if you have a lack of self-belief and self-love underneath that as the foundation, you are going to continue to show up in a manner that is inconsistent with the person that you have to show up as in order to truly manifest the life that you want. And so what I want to do today is talk a little bit about the foundation of self-love as it relates to manifestation. And I want to help you to figure out what the heck you can do about it. You ready for that? All right. So first off, I just want to say that when I think about the foundation of why is self-love, even a concept that we're having to discuss right now, you've heard me say this before on the show, that the law of attraction, the law of vibration, is so instrumental when it comes to the ability for our biofield to be able to attract like things that we want. So all of a sudden, when I am feeling the emotions that lead to the vibrational frequency of my body that aligns well with the things that I want, with the conversations that I could have, with the ideas that come out of nowhere, all of a sudden I have now aligned myself with the frequency of the life that I want, of the things that I want, the people that I want. And everything starts to shift, not from any more effort of your own, but literally just because the things are in that right same channel, right? I've talked a lot about this example of me being, a kid and listening to the Casey Kasem's Top 40 and recording it on my cassette tape in my bedroom in Minnesota. Like, how in the heck was I able to listen to Casey Kasem in my rural little, town? It is because I was able to dial into the right frequency. That's how this works. And you have to be able to have dialed yourself into the frequency of the things that you want. And remember that our thoughts create our feelings. And our feelings are what indicate the rate in which those electrons in our body start to rotate. And that, my friend, is what is going to give you the vibrational, measurement that you are, that can either repel the things that you want or attract the things that you want. Now, when we think about the vibrational scale and how it relates to our emotions, we know, because scientists have been able to measure this, that the emotions that correlate with love, joy, peace, gratitude, freedom are at the highest level of that vibration. That means that the electrons in my body are rotating really, really fast, that the frequency and the hertz in which my body is measured is high, versus a low frequency of unworthiness and despair and hopelessness and victimhood. My vibrational frequency is going to be really, really low. So if I want to live a life of abundance, if I want to live a life of joy, if I want to live a life of ease and fun, I need to really have my thoughts and my feelings align with the frequency of those things. So here's the deal. If I am feeling thoughts of unworthiness and powerlessness and despair, and I don't believe that is possible for me, I don't believe in myself, I don't believe that I am worthy of these things, I am not going to be in the energetic alignment of the things that I want. So you have to be able to acknowledge that the way that you feel about yourself is going to directly impact what you're able to attract. And the thing is that you're never going to be able to attract things that you don't believe you're worthy of. And I've seen this time and time again where people are able to, for very short periods of time, tap into the frequency that aligns with the things they want, but they're unable to keep those things because the mindset shifts have not been made yet, and they're unable to sustain that vibration to keep things in their lives. That's why so many lotto winners, lose their fortune, because they are not at the mindset and the energetic space in which to keep that transformation. And so I want you to be really aware that, again, it's not what you do, it's who we are while we do it. And it's not, what we want that we manifest, is really what we believe and what we think we deserve. I'm going to say that one more time because it's so powerful. It is not what you want that you manifest. It is what you believe you deserve. And so if you have any inconsistencies in that feeling of what you deserve, you are literally blocking your ability to manifest. And in fact, you will actually repel success and ease and abundance because of that lack of worthiness and that lack of deserving, because you're not loving yourself at the core. All right. The second concept, the second foundational concept that I want to bring up when it comes to self-love and manifesting is really related to scripture. When we're taught that we're supposed to love thy neighbor as thyself, I want you to notice something here. So many of the clients that I work with are chronic people pleasers. I'm a recovering people pleaser. In fact, I sometimes get sucked right back into those old patterns. And when we are people pleasing, really what we're doing is we're putting their wants and needs over our own. And God did not tell us that we're supposed to just give all of ourselves. We're supposed to love our neighbors as ourselves. That doesn't mean that we love ourselves more, but that does not mean that we love ourselves less. That does not mean that we love ourselves less. And in order for us to truly be able to love someone else, we must first be able to love ourselves. I've talked about this a lot in the analogy that if I were to pour out all of the things that I do for people as if I am a pitcher of water, right? And I'm pouring myself out to all of these people. I'm serving, and I'm constantly pouring myself out. I have essentially deep down within me wanting and needing this love back and this acknowledgement back from those people that I'm serving. And it's very hard to get things back into the pitcher when it is tipped over. You know what I'm saying? So we expect these things from other people to fill ourselves up. But really, all we're doing is we're emptying without a practical way to refill. What I want you to consider, friend, is that when you're constantly pouring yourself out, you have literally disconnected yourself from source, disconnected to God. God literally is just love. Pure love energy. That's what God is. And so when you're constantly pouring yourself into the lives of others and not acknowledging your own needs, you've cut yourself off from the energy source, and you're expecting to get things back from the people in this fallen world. And it just doesn't work. And then you end up disappointed. You end up feeling like you don't deserve, and it's just a cycle. What I want you to start thinking about is, rather than pouring yourself out, I would love for you to shower yourself consistently as of the vase that you are, allowing God's love to pour into you. And your ability to serve others is literally just the outpouring of that love that is excess, that is able to serve people without you disconnecting from source. And that, my friend, is a place that you get to serve people, not from a neediness place to get something back, to get your worthiness from them, to get their love, to feel like you're enough. You get your love and your worthiness from the Creator of the universe that created all beautiful things. The mountains and the oceans also created you. The Creator of the universe that created all things knows every single hair on your head. Tap into that love energy and allow for that to overflow into the people that you serve, both clients, your family, the friends, the people that are around you that you care about. Okay?
The next one that I want you to acknowledge is the fact that your neural pathways are what are going to indicate your actions. We have programming running in our subconscious all the time on autopilot, right? And our ability or inability to take consistent action, to take courageous steps, to have the clarity to do the things that we need to do are going to be interrupted by faulty beliefs about ourselves, limiting beliefs and patterns that we have that have literally been running the show for most of our lifetime. And so what happens is we don't do the things, we don't um, speak boldly of our offerings or share our product and our services with people who genuinely need them. We're afraid to charge what we think we're could charge because we don't feel worthy of charging that, or we don't feel worthy of raising our prices, or all the things, because we have these subconscious limiting beliefs that are running in the background saying that you don't deserve that. Who do you think you are? You're not ready for that. You need to do another certification. You need to lower your prices. You need to give a discount. You need to whatever, because those insecure programming are indicating to you what you should do or not do. And it's so important, because when you don't believe that you're worthy of charging the things or speaking boldly about the services that you have, you're going to hold yourself back. It's no wonder that you're not manifesting consistent 10K months with more ease, because you are literally refusing, whether it be consciously or subconsciously, to do the dang things that are going to get you to where you want to go and faster. You're going to refuse to do the things that are going to allow you to work smarter, not harder, to see less patients and charge more, or less clients and charge more, or whatever the case may be, because you know that you're worthy and you're deserving of everything that you're charging. Okay. Now, how does this impact us? I've kind of dived into that a little bit here, but I want to just acknowledge this, that when we don't feel worthy, when we lack that self-love that I've been talking about, it can be reflective in the way that we run our business. So I see this more times than I care to see it, is that people will come to me, they're like, Michelle, I'm just not making enough money. I would love to make that consistent 5-figure months that you've been talking about, but I just don't see how that's possible. And when I look at their services and I'm able to see, like, goodness, this is what your market analysis is showing us, is that you're actually undercharging what you could charge for this. And they're so afraid of charging what they could charge, because they think, oh my gosh, I need to get another certification, or I just don't know, what if all those clients that I have been serving leave me, and all the things like that. Self-love, that's deserving, that worthiness impacts them from making the decisions that are going to allow for them to run their business in a way that is sustainable, so that they can pour into the people that are paying them what they're worth, and they can add additional things to their company because they have the time and energy for it, or they can spend more time with their family that they've been neglecting forever. And that self-love and that self-worth is impacting their ability to make these decisions. I also see this a lot with boundaries. Clients will tell me, like, I can't get a handle on my schedule. I'm completely booked up. And I have seen this time and time again. They will book their clients back to back without giving themselves permission to take 15 minutes to document the notes, or to send the emails, or to just get themselves a breather and go to the bathroom, right? Because they don't feel worthy. They feel like they have to keep rushing. Or they allow their Zoom meetings to go longer than what they had originally planned, because they just want to continue to give more and more and more. Not because they feel like the client necessarily needs it, but because they do, because they feel like they have to prove their worth to themselves. They would need to prove to themselves that they are worth what they charge that person. They want to continue to give and give and give, because there's deep down fear that they're not giving enough to be worthy of what they're charging. All of this comes down to that root of that lack of self-love. I also see this when it comes to people having the courage to show up, to be visible, to post on social media, to get on the live videos, to go on a podcast tour. It's so scary because they don't feel like they're ready. They feel like an imposter. They don't feel like they have any value to share to these people. Who would want to watch me, right? Who would want to read my blog? Who would want to read my newsletter? And that keeps them from showing up and being visible enough to grow their business, so they can do a one-to-many approach. They can serve many people at once, and their insecurities are literally holding them back from doing that. The lack of confidence is also preventing them from getting on the sales calls, or from speaking boldly on those sales calls and say, this is the investment and this is exactly what I would prescribe to you because I'm confident that I can help you. But instead they're like, oh, well, I think that maybe we could possibly work together and, I could give you a discount and, right? Friend, that is not going to get you where you want to go. It is not what we do. It's who we are while we do it. So when you're on those sales calls, you have to have the confidence to be able to show up and say, you can trust me. And in order for you to do that, you have to believe that you can trust you. Are you following me? The other thing that I see a lot is this lack of self-worth leads to this overthinking. And it leads to this burnout and this overwhelm because people are constantly chasing external validation, or they stop themselves from doing the actions altogether. They analyze and overthink, and they don't actually get into action at all. That is stalling your progress. And I am so confident, friend, that once we can get to this root cause of your lack of self-love and worthiness and belief in yourself that is preventing you from doing not only the strategies that you need to do, but executing those strategies from a level in which is going to be maximizing your success, right? So what can you do about this? You're like, Lachelle, you're speaking my language. I totally relate to everything that you're saying. And friend, I just got to say, I know these things because I've been there too. And so the things that I'm going to tell you are the same things that I've done myself and the same things that I help my clients do. The first one is to be able to identify those limiting beliefs. If you find yourself thinking, I'm not worth what I would charge, or, you're making excuses like I would make all this money, but I just don't want to be that busy. And you're coming from it from a space of you're trying to protect your ego. But really, the core is that you don't believe that you're actually worthy of making this much money or doing it in 20 hours a week, right? Because maybe that's selfish, or that's lazy, or that's whatever. Like, you might have these underlying limiting beliefs that are sabotaging you and are creating the ceiling of you not following through on the things that you could or should do, right? So it's identifying those limiting beliefs, and then it's reprogramming them. There's several things that I do for this. One of them is just once you acknowledge it, you can reframe it. Kind of think about that bestie that lives in your head. What would that bestie say to you right now? Okay. And reframe those thoughts. So you notice them, you allow them to be noticed with curiosity instead of shame and guilt, and you just rephrase them. Okay. Affirmations are huge. Affirmations work, friend. There's some science that helps you to use affirmations more effectively, and that includes repetition and positive emotion. I also have software that I use that allows for me to record my affirmations, and using offset beats, I can actually get that those words into my brain by bypassing my conscious subconscious barrier and allowing it to be able to get into the part where it's not like the BS. I don't believe that. And so if that's something that you're interested in, by all means, please reach out to me personally, get into my Instagram DMs and say, hey, what's that affirmation thing for my brain? Because I don't believe any of the crap I'm saying. Okay. I also believe very much that we have to act as is. This is the law of assumption. This is the whole premise of my Becoming Experience retreats is acting as if you're already there. Now you might be saying, well, what does that mean? If I say to myself, I am $1 million earner, okay? And I start to take on that identity, acting as if I'm already her, okay? What does that mean? That means that when my alarm goes off in the morning, would $1 million earner hit snooze, or would she get up? She'd get up, right? The $1 million earner is going to not shy away from that sales call. She's going to book them, and she's going to show up, and she's going to be on fire, even when she's scared, because the person's not going to know, right? She is going to make decisions, and she's not going to overthink things. She's going to take risks. She's going to be consistent. And so you have to act as if you were already there. What would that future version of yourself look like? How would she be behaving? How would she be dressing? How would she be spending her days? How would she be interacting with people? And the more that you can act as if, it's almost like you're on the stage, but that stage is your life, right? And you were acting as if that person already exists, because she does in the quantum space. She does. So tap into that and behave in that manner. And I promise you that the trickle-down domino effect is going to change your life, okay? The other thing that I want you to do is I want you to start to honor yourself, to have this enough self-love to say no to clients or projects that are not aligned with you. Say no to the projects and the clients that would drain you, and honor yourself, because when you don't, you are subjecting yourself to scarcity mindset. You're subjecting yourself to people pleasing, and that is not honoring yourself. So when you can show up as the confident, self-loved, self-worthy, self-deserving, self-believing version of yourself, you will start to make decisions. You will start to interact with people. You will start to meet people. All of those things will align. Why? Because of brain science and quantum physics, and scripture says so. You can literally create a completely different future if you start to acknowledge the purpose that self-love has in this space. Okay. Now, I want to just acknowledge something, that self-love is not optional, friend. It is the energetic foundation of everything that you desire. Okay. So you really have to take this seriously. Now, if you found this episode super helpful, I want you to share it to other entrepreneurs that you think could really benefit from this. I would love for you to share some of your takeaways in my Instagram. And lastly, if you're feeling like, oh my gosh, Lachelle, I do want to get to the root cause of this. I do want to manifest consistent 10K months with less overthinking and less overwhelm. I want to invite you to check out my Burnout to Breakthrough Masterclass, where I teach you the exact bottlenecks that are getting in your way and what you can do about it. And that is completely free. And the link is in the show notes. All right. I cannot wait to see you guys next week. I hope that this was helpful to you. And remember, friend, if you don't believe in yourself, allow my belief in you to get you to where you want to go until you get there. Okay. All right, friend, I love you so much, and I will see you next time.
So much for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe and leave a review. Each honest review helps me spiral up so that I can serve you even better. Whether you're feeling a lack of impact, income, or time freedom, or perhaps you're just ready for massive momentum in your business, let's chat. Apply for a breakthrough call so that you can gain clarity, identify what's holding you back, and make a plan to spiral up. Head on over to iam-lifebydesign.com/breakthrough or access the link in the show notes. For immediate support, log into our community, the Better Club. We focus on inspiration, tactical guidance, and support. This is a community that wants to be better, do better, and have better in life and in business, and we're going to help you do the same. Let's spiral up, friends.